Kia ora, Lara here, and I'm going to create a layout today using the Let's Party collection by Close to My Heart. Now I've started with a piece of black cardstock and I've just used some of the white gloss spray by Dina Wakley to splatter on the background just so it's not just the straight black. This paper collection that I'm using does use quite bold colours. They're quite sort of not starchy, but they kind of are separate, so they're not all merged like some of the other layouts I've been doing lately. So these papers sort of dictate the type of background or the type of thing that I'm wanting to work with. The photos that I have chosen to work with today are of my son's dog near the Christmas sort of period, where he managed to acquire one of the sort of soft toy Christmas elves and things like that, and just loves playing with it, and it's now the toy that he brings to the door when we come home just to say, hey, I'm here. And also there was a ginormous dinosaur that had been kept in one of the bedrooms but suddenly made its way into the lounge, and he quite liked that too. He's not actually rough on them, so he doesn't tend to pull or tear them. It's when he's involved with another dog or a person that's sort of playing rough that things tend to get broken. So that's just a little bit about him. So I've sort of played around with the position of the papers and the photos, whether I wanted them horizontal or vertical, but I have stuck with that vertical arrangement with that stripy paper. I'm going to stick that down, and I've just sort of trimmed off one of the strip. I love this pink and white stripe. I think it'd make a great layout background as well at some point, so I may have to play around with that idea too. So I'm just sticking that down sort of slightly, very much to the left side of the page, but leaving some of the black. And I'm using some of the stickers from the sticker sheet that goes with this collection to create sort of another border or strip. I did wonder about having another piece of patterned paper along here, along each side, but I decided I would just stick with the stickers because we had them, and why not use them? So just looking at the other paper options that I have, because I'm going to mat these photos. I'm going to first of all mat them on some white daisy cardstock just to separate them a little bit more from that busy background, and I'm just sticking them on the cardstock, just leaving a little bit of a gap between so that when I cut them I am going to just sort of leave a border around them. Now I do need to find my bigger scissors. They seem to have gone missing with the gift wrapping and stuff like that, so I need to find them because it's much easier than using these little micro tip scissors when I'm sort of cutting big areas. The scissors are great if I'm doing small sort of fussy cutting, but not so awesome when you're sort of cutting around the edge of photos. So I've got those sort of there, and now I'm sort of playing with the papers that I want to stick in behind, and I've decided to go with this lighter speckled sort of confetti kind of one, and doing that first, followed by this yay one. So while it does, he could be saying yay in his head, he's got another toy, but I didn't really want the words to be standing out in it. They just added a nice colour, or just add a little bit extra in that background. So I've matted that main photo with the patterned papers, but I'm not going to mat the other two sort of supporting story photos. So when playing with photos, it can be quite a good idea to think, what is the main story? And in some ways this photo here is that main story, just that look of enjoyment on his face, and also that he wants to share that with us as he's holding the elf, and then the other playful moments that he has with the larger soft toy. So I have just chosen one of the stickers here that I'm just going to stick down, and I'm now going to stick down what will form the title. So this is sort of a pennant banner, and it's just the word happy, and as it sits it looks it kind of needs something to sit on. So banners normally have a string, and so I'm going to create that a little bit later on. Now in the extra embellishments you get with this set, I think there is a black sort of acrylic string look-alike type thing that you could use. However, I didn't want that with the black cardstock, so couldn't quite use that. So I'm pulling out some of the other stickers that are around the sticker sheet that I think work with this particular layout and the message that I am telling. So next up, I decide I'm actually going to stitch along where the string would be, and so I am just sort of poking some holes at different points along the top of the banner or the title, and it'll just help that title sort of stand out a little bit from the page as well. And yeah, so I'm going to use just white thread. So I've used those white splatters in the background, so I decided that a white thread was the right option. And sorry, I've possibly got this a little bit sideways rather than turning it around like I should have. I may be able to do that shortly, but when I'm doing this voiceover, it's come up as one of the ones I haven't quite turned yet, but it was tricky to work out because of the stitching. So I've decided to leave one end slightly longer than the other end, so I've left the threads hanging off the end, so you sort of got something to rest on rather than it just finishing as a banner. So there you can see it there, the stitching along the middle and sort of the tail at each end left loose. And I'm just using one of the white gel pens to add my journaling onto that black cardstock background, and essentially saying what I said to you before when I was describing the photos that I was popping onto this layout. So this layout, this paper collection is essentially a birthday celebration type collection, but on this page here I've used it on something that is very much not a birthday as such. Yes, it's happy, yes, you could say that there's an element of celebration in there, but it's a non-birthday layout using the Let's Party collection. So there's a few more smaller stickers that I'm just pulling out from the sticker sheet as well, some stars essentially, and there's a few different sizes and a few different colours. So there we have kind of a quite simple but interesting layout using a birthday collection for a non-birthday page. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this. If you've got any questions or anything, pop them below. Thanks for watching.